Hello, Elvis fans. Still working on my coffee today. I felt like I needed to get a video in because I just found out that my schedule for the next week is gotten completely insane. So I don't know when I'll have time to do this again. And things are not going as planned for this video. In my previous video, I asked for people to send in questions, and I was going to do a diversity of a lot of different things instead of sticking to one subject like we've done in all the previous videos. But it's not working out that way because the first two questions here are one subject and are going to cover this video. I'm going to fill this video up. So somebody wrote in and asked me to name 6 people that I thought were in on the Elvis conspiracy. I can name a lot more than 6 people, and the reason I can do that is there are people that I believe were in on it from the beginning. There are people that I believe were let in on it later. And there are people that I think inadvertently got in on it through previous connections they had with Elvis. So who are some obvious people that had to be in on this? Colonel Tom Parker. I don't think he was only in on it. I think he helped plan it. Colonel Parker had created a new identity for himself. He was an illegal immigrant who escaped from Holland, came to America. He had created a new birth certificate, driver's license, a passport, all identification that he needed. He was able to acquire, so he knew how to do this. Of course, I think Ginger Alden knew about this because she was right there, and as we mentioned in a previous video, some phone records indicated that she had called the National Enquirer even before calling downstairs for help when she supposedly found Elvis's body. The National Enquirer was able to acquire a picture of Elvis in the coffin when nobody else was able to do that. So do I think she was in on it? Sounds that way. Sounds that way to me. Priscilla, Vernon, I think they had to know. Vernon actually did a radio interview on the day that the body was found. He was unemotional in the interview. He signed a contract with Colonel Tom Parker on that same day. His actions were not those of a grieving father. He didn't even go to the hospital when they took this body that was supposed to be Elvis. So there's one that I believe was in on it. Dr. Nick had to be in on it. His stories about what happened certainly don't make any sense, and he tried to cover tracks just like everybody else did. This body wasn't the story that we've been given. This body was in rigor mortis and liver mortis condition when found, yet Dr. Nick tried to revive the body. He rode in the back of the ambulance and talked to this body and said, Elvis, hang in there. Hard to hang in there when rigor mortis has already taken effect. So I think he knew. Charlie Hodge, I believe, knew. I think he was one of the closest friends Elvis had, and one of the ones that were the most trusted of the group. There are some that I think know now, knew after the fact, and Marty Lacker would be one of those. And Marty, if you're watching this, I know you hate me, and you've hated me for 20 years for doing these things, but I do think Marty knows something now. As a matter of fact, Marty and Elvis's cousin Billy Smith actually did an article for People newspaper saying that Elvis had faked his death and had sneaked out of Graceland in a van, ran off with a mystery woman named Maria, and then later changed their story like so many others have done. So I believe that he knows at least some of what happened. If you wonder why Marty hates me, we used to be in a group together online called Alt Elvis King, and I preached the things that I'm doing in these videos, and he didn't like it very much. And people on Alt Elvis King used to worship Marty in a way because of him being a witness at Elvis's wedding. They thought he must be a wonderful friend, but I pointed out that Marty being in this wedding was not Elvis's idea. It was the Colonel's. Colonel left out people that Elvis wanted there, like Red West. Certain people were not even invited to the wedding. None of this had to do with Elvis. Colonel set this up, and I'm sure Marty would not have been Elvis's choice. And I also pointed out in there that Marty had been fired by Elvis and was no longer a friend. And well, you know, Marty doesn't like me. Now, there are several people that had to be in on this. I mean, you have to use common sense. The paramedics were not in on it. They were Ulysses Jones and Charlie Crosby, and they have both done interviews where they said it was not Elvis on that bathroom floor when they were called to Graceland. They weren't in on this from the beginning, but they certainly figured it out. Now, one of the other questions that relates here that I received is, how did they keep quiet? Well, some of them did keep quiet, some of them didn't. The Colonel was able to keep quiet because he was making a whole lot more money off of Elvis being dead. Why would he say anything? You have people that were very good friends that weren't going to rat Elvis out. I mean, Elvis's life was in danger. Priscilla's life was in danger. Little Lisa Marie, who was only 9 years old. Who was going to say anything and get these people killed? Now, some people didn't keep quiet. As I said, Marty Lacker and Billy Smith told the story. Elvis's cousin Gene Smith, I mean, everybody has seen the interview of him telling that it was not Elvis in the casket. I mean, there have been so many people come forward, but how do you prove it? See, that's where they run into problems. Are any of the people that are willing to tell on Elvis going to be close enough to Elvis now to get his fingerprints off of a glass? What good would DNA do? It's been proven twice through DNA that Elvis tissue does not match tissue they did the autopsy on. If people aren't willing to believe it, what good would it do to get more? People have not kept quiet by any means. I mean, search the internet. How many people have came forward and told? Look at the video on my YouTube page at the trailer for The Truth About Elvis documentary that was being done that got halted, like so many other things that try to come out. Look at the people that were interviewed in this video and what they said just in the short clips of the trailer. What did they actually say in the full documentary that we never got to see? I mean, there's so many people that have came forward, but if they don't have the proof to back it up, I mean, people that tell the story, they have no authority to go in and exhume the body or exhume whatever's buried at Graceland, if anything. So where do they go? They call Elvis up on the phone, ask him to come over for a drink, and then save the fingerprints on the glass? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're that close to him anymore, and if they were, he's not that dumb. So just those two questions have me thinking. What do you think? Comment below this video. Let me know, who do you think was in on it? Who do you think found out later? Who do you think kept quiet and who do you think didn't? I am going to be extremely busy for the next week, but I am going to be keeping up with posts the best I can. And we will get another video in soon, but I would love to hear all of your answers to these two questions. Who was involved? How'd they keep quiet? Did they keep quiet? And we will do another video maybe in a week, I hope. Until then, have a great week. Thank you very much.